And we're vlogging. Hi friends, Beverly again. I'm back with another silly story about my life. If you and I have been Twitter mutuals for more than about 6 months, you have probably heard this story. You about to hear it again. I'm not sorry. This is the story of one of the most surreal days of my life. First of all, I just want to say that I feel incredibly lucky that this happened to me because it helped me meet so many of my new friends, and it was just so much fun. Fun, but bizarre. So, in the inconceivable circumstance in which you're watching this despite not knowing me very well, I'm gonna give you some exposition. There's this band. They're called Bastille. I love them. Their first album, Bad Blood, of which this is the deluxe edition, All This Bad Blood, is wonderful. As you can see, my copy is beat all to hell. That's because I carried it all over God's green earth for about 2 years from 2014 to 2016 while my life was a fucking disaster. I'm not gonna get too sappy right now, but it was an important source of strength for me during a very difficult time. And so, when they released their second album, Wild World, I was really scared to listen to it because how could anything new ever compete with something that had meant so much to me? But it's amazing! I don't know how they did it, but I like this one just as much. It's incredible. That's the backstory. So they're on tour, and they're coming to my hometown. Obviously, I'm delighted. Obviously, I'm gonna go. But I don't just want to go. I want to go early. Bastille is the only band I've ever done this for. In fact, before this day, I had never been early to a concert in my entire life. Yes, I am ashamed. So I didn't really know what I was doing. And I wasn't going alone. I had friends who were gonna go with me. Most notably the friend who gave me this necklace for Christmas. And my little sister who works for the venue. Psst, keep her in mind. She's gonna be important later. But it was a Thursday and they're normal human beings, so they weren't gonna take the day off work to sit on a sidewalk with me for 12 hours. So for most of the day I was gonna be alone. It was also very cold and rainy. North Carolina's weather in May is usually gorgeous, but this day it totally flopped. It was cold, it was rainy, it was absolutely miserable. Also, it's relevant to note that the actual members of the band are pretty well known for being chill, cool, down to earth, pleasant kind of guys. The lead singer is a guy by the name of Dan Smith. In case for some reason you're watching this and you didn't know. He talks pretty openly about always being nervous before shows. He says he's always afraid that nobody's gonna come. They're a massive band. People go to their shows. But he says he still gets nervous. What can I say? It's endearing. I'm endeared. So it's the night before the show and I'm thinking, okay, I have a couple different objectives that I need to accomplish. I need to do something that is going to help me make friends in line, stay warm and comfortable on this cold, rainy, nasty day. Ideally, I'd like to do something that, if the guys saw it, it would make them chuckle and feel a little bit less nervous. But most importantly, I need to fuck with my little sister at work. So I'm mulling all of this over in my head when I see it. And I knew immediately what had to be done. The next day, my beloved friend, this one, picked me up at 7 in the morning and dropped me off at the venue. The Flamingo, fully inflated, wouldn't fit into her SUV, so I had to finish inflating it on the sidewalk. There were already people there. So I saunter up, dragging a half-flaccid giant flamingo, and everyone who's already waiting is like, where are you going with that? And I'm like, right here, bitches! This would have been bad enough if I had brought a battery pump, but I didn't. I couldn't find a battery pump, so I was using a hand pump. This also wouldn't have been so bad, except that the hand pump, for some reason, made this ungodly accordion noise. It took forever. It was so embarrassing. But we got the Flamingo inflated, finally. About 9:30 in the morning, the buses get there. And we start getting all excited as we see all of these trucks rolling in, carrying all of their equipment. We're just... And about half an hour after the trucks get there, one of the truckers walks up to me. And he says, your Flamingo is hilarious. I'm gonna go get the tour manager and see if I can get him to come out and see it because I think it's really funny. I think he'd get a kick out of it. Now, being the person that I am, garbage, I happen to know that the tour manager is a fellow by the name of Dick Meredith, who I love. And I was super stoked to meet him. But about an hour after that, the trucker came back and said Dick was too busy, he didn't have time to come see the flamingo. Fine by me, totally understand. He's got a bus full of 30-year-old men to babysit. He's got other stuff to do besides worry about me and my flamingo. And you know what? Not only am I not mad about it, but just to show there's no hard feelings, we're gonna name the flamingo Dick. So now we're sitting on a giant pink flamingo named Dick. That pretty much set the bar for the caliber of jokes that were happening for the rest of the day. But the trucker says, even though I couldn't get Dick to come see it, I still think your flamingo is amazing. Here you go. Ah! And I'm like, oh, neat. I'm just sitting out on the sidewalk on a giant flamingo. Like you do. And all of my dreams are coming true. Excellent! So now I have these. I keep them in a shadow box in my room. I love them. So we're just chilling on this flamingo, having the time of our lives. We made friends with a couple different members of the crew. Turns out it's really easy to make friends when you have a giant flamingo. A couple hours later, they start the sound check. It's an amphitheater, so if you're sitting outside on the sidewalk, you can hear the sound check even if you can't see it. So when they get done with their sound check song, we clap and scream, like you do. And over the microphone, you can just hear Dan go, "Who's screaming?" So we jump up and wave over the fence and he says, "Oh, hi, sorry about the rain." You soft little shh. So that was cute. And then about an hour before doors, my sister walks up. And she says, "Good job, Beverly. Very funny. Very well done. My bosses are all super confused that we have a crazy lady on a flamingo sitting outside of our venue, and I had to explain that she's my sister. Thanks. But you know I can't let that flamingo into my venue. So if you'll give it to me, I'll take it to the guest services tent and I'll check it just like all of the other stuff that people bring to the venue that we're not allowed inside." So I'm like, awesome. I get to play on this flamingo all day and I don't even have to babysit it during the concert. Ideal. Thanks, sister. So I give her the flamingo. We go inside. The concert was amazing. Mondo Cosmo was amazing. Does anyone else pick up strong, scruffy Han Solo vibes from Josh Ostrander, or is it just me? Dan saw my sign. He chuckled. We had a whole little interaction. It was great. Concert was amazing. Of course it was amazing. In the due course of events, it wraps up and it's over. But keep in mind, I've been sitting on the sidewalk for 12 hours. I have no dignity. So I figure I'll go back to the back, see if the guys come out. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Worth a try. Maybe I'll get to meet the dudes. I'm headed that way when I get a call from my sister and she says, "Beverly, I'm so sorry. We've never had this happen." What? "But a homeless man stole your flamingo during the set? And it's gone." What? "Yeah, I left the new intern in charge of it and she was supposed to keep an eye on it. But a homeless man just walked up and took it and she panicked and he got away." Yeah, that happened. A homeless man stole my flamingo. So I'm thinking, this is amazing. Ideal situation. I got to have this whole day of hilarious nonsense with my flamingo, and I don't even have to carry it home, and this homeless person gets a big pink squishy dick to sleep on tonight. I call that a win-win. So I start telling all of my friends from earlier that our flamingo had gotten stolen by a homeless person during the set, and they all think it's hilarious. When whomst should emerge from backstage but Will Farquharson, the bassist, and real live human Dick Meredith in the flesh. Will obviously is immediately swarmed by fans, and I'm thinking, you know, it would be great to get to talk to Will, but he has got his hands full. I'm not going to crowd him any more than he's already crowded. I'll go talk to Dick. So I go up to Dick, introduce myself, tell him all about the poor long-lost flamingo's son he never knew he had and its tragic demise. And he says, "That's appalling. That means that somewhere in the darkest recesses of Raleigh, North Carolina, there's a homeless man spooning with your flamingo as we speak." Exactly! Exactly, Dick! Isn't that wonderful? So we're having a little chuckle, talk about the weather, talk about whatever. And then he says something to the effect of, "Well, it was nice to meet you, but we have an 8-hour drive to make and we're supposed to be there in 7 hours, so we have to go." So he goes and gets Will out of the crowd of fans. He brings Will to me. I got to talk to Will for like 90 seconds. I was so startled that I forgot to panic. I didn't get his autograph. It was such a bizarre situation that I accidentally was completely normal. I didn't even hug him. I was just too... We talked about books. I did hug Dick Meredith though. Hug Dick more. He's a good hugger and he deserves love. So I'm walking away and I look down at my phone and it's 11:11 and I'm thinking, man, there's nothing left to wish for. And then my sister texts me and she says, listen, Beverly, I'm still really sorry about that flamingo. And you know what else? I found somebody else who's also sorry.
Hey Beverly.
Huh?
Sorry you lost your pink flamingo.
Beep, 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 beep.
If I see the guy, I will make sure to steal it back for you.
Yes, is this the florist?
Thank you for waiting all day.
Yes, I'd like to order some reeds for my funeral.
And I hope that you enjoyed the gig.
I literally laid down in the grass and waited for my imminent death to arrive. And then a security lady told me to get up because I was making her nervous. Side note, be nice to security people, guys. They go through a lot for us. Anyway, that's the story about how I got a video voicemail from Dan Smith because my giant flamingo got stolen by a homeless person at his concert. And other sentences I have said. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this silly story about my life. In case you're wondering, yes, I have bought a replacement flamingo for future shenanigans. Give me a like. Y'all are grown. I know y'all know how to subscribe to a YouTube channel. I know you have that information. Do with that information as you will. Get on it. No pressure. Yes.
Hey Beverly. Sorry you lost your pink flamingo. If I see the guy, I will make sure to steal it back for you. Thank you for waiting all day. And I hope that you enjoyed the gig.
Is that not the creepiest shit? Just come in, you fluffy little weirdo. Watching through my fingers. Josh Ostrander is a scruffy looking nerf herder and I love him. One ear out the other, oh, one ear out the other.